supposed to be. I should call him, but don't know.
Good morning. Committee on Council is now in session. My name is Liliana Bakhtiari. To my far left, we are joined by Council President Shipman, followed by Councilmember Jason Winston, Councilmember Howard Shook, and then to my far right, Councilmember Andrea Boone, followed by Councilmember Byron D. Amos. So moving on, first, can I get a motion to adopt today's agenda? Moved by Councilmember Winston, seconded by Councilmember Shook. I'll just please open that vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. This does pass, or this is officially adopted. I would like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes from the December 2nd meeting, seconded by Councilmember Shook.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes are approved. Next, I'll go ahead and make a motion to adopt the full council agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Shook.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. This is adopted. Now we move to nominate. Well, I'll wait till our chair is back for the nomination of the vice chair. And I believe that we are also, well, the 2025 Committee on Council Goals and Objectives. The plan is to adopt those by February 3rd. So that does give us just under a month. Please send your recommendations to Mr. Overton, and he will collect our suggestions. But please make sure that we get that done for this committee. And next we have public comment. I don't believe I see anyone signed up. So we'll move on to communications.
Madam Chair, if there are no objections from the body, can we take items 1 through 4 together? All appointees come with a favorable recommendation from their Committee of Purview.
Seeing no objections, please proceed.
Item number 1, 24C5139, a communication from Council President Doug Shipman appointing Mr. Larry Riley to serve as a member of the City of Atlanta Reparations Study Commission. Item number 2, 24C5140, a communication from Council President Doug Shipman appointing Ms. Cheryl Venable to serve as a member of the Midtown Community Improvement District Board of Directors. This appointment is for a term of 4 years. Item number 3, 24C5149, a communication from Dr. Michael Hodge, Executive Director of the Atlanta University Center Consortium Incorporated, submitting the appointment of Mr. Marcus Washington to serve as a member of the Atlanta Citizens Review Board. This appointment is for a term of 3 years. And item number 4, 24C5150, a communication from Sagira Jones, President of the Atlanta Planning Advisory Board, submitting the appointment of Ms. Cheyenne Morin Jr. to serve as on the Atlanta Citizens Review Board in the Neighborhood Planning Unit, Group G through L category. This appointment is for a term of 3 years.
Thank you, Mr. Overton. I will go ahead and motion to adopt. Seconded by Councilmember Shook. Sorry, motion to approve.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. These items are approved. Moving on to our regular agenda. Mr. Overton, can you please read off the first item?
These brings us to ordinances for second reading and item number 5. Madam Chair, before we get into that, we do have a request to amend this item. The amendment amends Section 1 of the legislation to update the salaries for the terms of office beginning in January 2026.
To reflect, will you go ahead and...
So there was an updated amendment to that. The salaries will be reflected as follows. The mayor will receive $236,865. The council president will make $103,250. Members of council will make $99,930 a year, beginning in January 2026.
Okay, thank you. I will go ahead and motion to bring forth that amendment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Shook. Please open the vote. Oh, and I do believe we have a council president that would like to say a word. Please.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I want to thank all of my colleagues for their work on this. First, I want to thank the committee for their work in undertaking the review process. You know, as we talk a lot in Atlanta, we talk often about income inequality, and we talk about the fact that it is something that is pervasive in Atlanta, unfortunately, often leads the nation. I think that this particular move to not take the entirety of the recommendations, but instead to take a lesser number, really is in line with trying to make sure that the salaries of council who, and I will say in my 3 years here, I've been deeply impressed in how hard council members work, how much this part-time job takes, how much community engagement happens on a daily basis. But I think that this is really a symbol, taking less than the recommendations is a symbol of trying to make sure that the difference between what council makes and what our frontline workers make and what our staff members across the city make, that this is the right signal to say that we understand that, yes, there is a balance between the work that is done and the amount of time that it takes for individuals, and also the quality and the support across the entire city workforce. And so I am very supportive and grateful for this move, and I hope that this becomes what is adopted by council. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So we do have, well, first, do I see anyone else who would like to speak? Go ahead, Councilmember Shook.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to note, this is, I've been through multiple sequences where we bring in a commission and then they hire people and they're given a budget and they go out and, compare and contrast across the country, which is hard to do because there's such a variation between governments. And then you try to find a government that, as we do here, has the world's busiest airport, which is not easy to do. We do have the busiest, a huge water sewer system, et cetera. And I want to thank the commission. What I want to thank them for most of all is for sort of turning the light on and just kind of giving up this Currier and Ives fiction that we have held to, where this is a part-time job, where every first and third Monday Floyd closes the barber shop a little early to attend the Mayberry City Council. That's not what we have here. It hasn't been that way for a long time. I mean, this is the equivalent of a Fortune 500 company with 9,000 employees, et cetera. I want to thank them for taking a fresh look at the way in which they did compare those salaries. I want to say for the record, I started at 22. It's tough to do this. Your constituents expect you, to be in their basement, up to their ankles and water in their basement at all times of the day or night. And so, yeah, so I think they got a lot of it right. But I'm very pleased. I mean, this is not just a decrease. This is actually cutting it in half. And the only other time I can remember when anything like that happened was the year in which council unanimously said, we're not going to have any increase, much less the one that had been proposed at that time, because we were in the middle of the 2008 recession, and which saw every fourth general fund position become vacated. And so we not only eschewed the increase, we passed legislation saying we were, or any future council would not be eligible for an increase until we had totally recovered. So I think this is I think we should all feel really good about this, and I'm looking forward to hitting the yes button.
Thank you. Just one quick question. Floyd closing the barber shop, was that an Andy Griffith reference?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. So we had, I read in the amendment or motion to approve the amendment, seconded by Councilmember Shook. Can we go ahead and open that vote?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. The amended item is before the committee. For the record, can I read the caption really
Please.
quick? This is item number 5, 2401684, an amended ordinance by the Committee on Council to establish the salaries for the mayor, council president, and members of council for the term of office beginning January 2026 and for other purposes. Madam Chair, pursuant to Section 2-306, Section A, subsection 2 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, this legislation must go through a notice period of 3 weeks before final action can be taken. Therefore, the recommendation is to hold this item. The item will be ready to move forward at the next COC meeting.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and motion to hold.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Shook.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. This is held. Mr. Overton, can you please move on to resolutions?
This brings us to item number 6, 25R3001, a resolution by Committee on Council to fix and publish the qualifying fees for the City of Atlanta municipal general election to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, to elect the mayor, city council president, city council members, certain Board of Education members, and to retain municipal court judges, to set the location, dates, and time for candidate qualifying and for other purposes.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and motion to approve this item.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Shook.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. This is approved. Colleagues, this does conclude our agenda. There is no walk-in legislation. Does anyone have any general remarks before we go? No? Well, really quickly, happy first meeting of the new year. And just to also continue what we left off doing in 2024, we will be still going after committees, finding which ones that we still need to fill for quorum. So we will be following up with each of the council members on that. Seeing no other comments, we are adjourned. See everyone at 1.